My absolute hero, the leader of Wu-Tang, came out with a ballet, verbal intercourse. It sounds like an octopus with 8 limbs playing piano. This song, music is so good. And I just gotta tell y'all a little bit about the music that I love. If you've been looking for a music plug, look no further. My name is Itai. I'm 23 years old. I'm from New York City. I'm a musician and a yogi. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I post travel vlogs, I post yoga videos, I post whatever I want. And I've been solo traveling across Asia for the past 9 months. Right now I'm in India in a city called Oroville. And over the past 9 months, I've met so many beautiful souls who were just putting me onto the craziest music. We gotta start off with this one right here. What y'all know about this song? I already know it's gonna be my top song on Spotify by the end of the year. This is a 10-minute long meditative epic by Sigur Rós. I can't pronounce the title because I believe the whole album is sung in a made-up language. But this band is from Sweden or Iceland? Iceland. This song is perfect for biking down the street at sunset, but it's also perfect for like a heartbroken moment looking out the window when the rain is falling. Keeping it Icelandic, next up we got my favorite artist Björk. That's B-J-O-R-K Björk. Now there's a whole Björk iceberg. I'm not about to tell you to listen to Venus as a boy, human behavior. I'm urging y'all to check out this track, Innocence by Björk, produced by Timbaland. Yes, I'm talking about JT Timbaland. I'm talking about Missy Elliott Timbaland, Pharrell's cousin Timbaland. He linked up with the Queen of Iceland, and it sounds crazy. This is perfect for like when you're walking down the street and you're trying to embody your runway walk. When you're trying to stunt, it's a good pregame song too. Now that red album cover is leading me to another red album cover, one of my favorite albums of all time. You already know. I've been blessed enough to see Rosalia live in concert twice at this point, and let me just say, that is the best concert I've seen in my life. Keep in mind, I've been to hundreds of concerts. I've been begging my parents for concert tickets since I was like 9 years old. My first concert was Coldplay. I cried through every song while I made my mom record the whole thing. But now I'm smoking that Rosalia pack. I am sober. The only pack I'm smoking is that Rosalia pack. And yes, I did learn Spanish in high school, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I went to Mexico City, didn't speak a word of English, and I was chopping it up, getting by fine. That being said though, I cannot understand a word she is saying. And I think a lot of native speakers would agree, but it doesn't matter. There's something so transcendent about these vibrations, it don't matter what language she's speaking. If you want a song that's gonna tear your heart out, it's G3M15 from this album. And if you need a song to get you hype, it's Cute from this album. It has one of the craziest samples I've ever heard. Do y'all know that dude on the internet who like puts his hand over his face and he just like sings numbers? He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She flipped that. Next, I gotta go somewhere totally different. What y'all know about my boy Yussef Dayes? I'm a drummer. Drums are my favorite instrument. They were the first instrument ever invented. And Yussef Dayes is up there with my favorite drummers right now. He makes jazz fusion music, and every time I'm doing work on my computer, every time I'm typing in my journal, every time I'm reading my book, I have this album playing, Yussef Dayes live from Malibu. And there's actually a video on YouTube of this entire concert. It's just him posted up with his boys at the lip of a canyon in Malibu, playing sweet music as the sun sets behind them. He just released another one at Mount Fuji in Japan. So if you want some instrumental music that's gonna make you ascend, definitely give some love to my boy Yussef Dayes. Speaking of ascension, what y'all know about my dog with the harmonium, Krishna Das? I'm not gonna lie, I'm new to Krishna Das. He got a crazy cult following all over the world. I just got put on this week because I'm a big fan of Ram Dass, and they study with the same guru here in India, Neem Karoli Baba, also known as Maharaji. Krishna Das, I assume he's from America, but he sings Sanskrit chants, and he got the most beautiful angelic voice. It's like God himself speaking to you. And there's this amazing quality in his music that's unique to Chance, where he sings 2 bars, and then there's this whole choir of people, his band and the audience combined, they chant it back to him. So every song has this amazing choir effect. The instrumentation is also great. They got tons of cool percussion like tabla, they got the harmonium. And if you're new to Indian music, it's a great introduction, because the rhythms aren't too crazy and advanced. They're mostly chill Western rhythms, but accompanied by these beautiful Sanskrit chants. And I would actually say check out his videos on YouTube, because those live videos are insane. They will make you float. You probably heard of Bob Marley, but what y'all know about this live album from 1975? He plays every song for like 10 minutes or more, and it's so easy to just get lost in each of these tracks. Personally, I play that thing beginning to end every single time, and it's like an hour long. If you're like on a long bus ride bored twiddling your thumbs, this album is gonna bring you deep into your mind palace and have you thinking such deep thoughts. And Bob Marley's minimal but poetic lyrics are definitely gonna trigger some type of feeling you didn't know you had inside of you. The band too, the band is incredible and so tight. They got the tightness of James Brown's band, but they're chill. Like James Brown is super uptight, reggae is so laid back. I love that album. So I've been recently getting into Wu-Tang, and I got a lot to say about Wu-Tang. First of all, I want to tell you about this one song by Raekwon the Chef called Verbal Intercourse. You might be thinking, what a weird title. That is the title because RZA, who made the beat, he's the leader of the Wu-Tang Clan, he chopped this sample, I believe it was from a TV show. So you know, the sample got a break in it, it got a groove in it, but there's also some dialogue in the background. That dialogue is not rhythmic, but RZA did not care. He looped that dialogue, and now you have all these members of Wu-Tang rapping over this dialogue from a TV show. It sounds crazy, but it's addicting. It's like an earworm. Even the dialogue sample in itself gets to be an earworm. It goes like, but what if he... Sounds so silly when I'm doing it, but y'all gotta check out the track. Speaking of Wu-Tang and speaking of RZA, the leader of Wu-Tang, he just recently came out with a ballet, like full-on classical music. Now, when I think of RZA and I think about Wu-Tang production, I think about an MPC, I think about sampling. But he is crazy nice at the piano, and he can compose for real. This is it. It's called A Ballet Through Mud. He performed it with the Colorado Symphony, and it's just wonderful classical music. Again, I use this while I'm writing, while I'm reading, or while I'm stretching in the morning. If you're looking for a good entry point into classical music, definitely check this out. Cause me, I'm not that well versed in classical music. I know the bangers, but I got some friends who are like classical encyclopedias. And you know, classical music always has this highbrow connotation. Like if you're sipping tea along to classical music, you better put your pinky up. But this is such an interesting contradiction because it's a ballet by RZA, the king of the gritty, the sloppy, and the messy. And you can hear it in the music. It's super interesting. If y'all love the piano, you gotta check out Conversations with Myself by Bill Evans. Now, this is not just any solo piano album. This is what my boy Bill did. He said, run the tape. He played like 5 minutes on the piano. Then he said, okay, run it back. And then he recorded another layer over that and another layer over that. So when you hear this song, you're hearing 3 pianos being played at once. But really, it sounds like an octopus with 8 limbs playing piano. It's that kind of jazz I love where the harmony just scratches my brain so well. And it's so crazy to know that this dude played it with himself. Usually when you hear jazz, you are assuming that a group of musicians was communicating with each other, but he went totally dolo. Not only is it a mind-blowing concept, but the music itself is so relaxing and cool. It's great before bed as wind down music while you're brushing your teeth, or it's great if you want to induce a midday nap, or if your social battery is out and you're trying to relax, just put this on and you'll come back to the island of yourself. So this is not music per se, but there is this podcast called Tape Notes, and the premise of the concept is this host brings on musicians to break down their songs. And it's great if you're a music theory nerd, if you're a production nerd, if you actually are a musician yourself. But even if you're not, it's super interesting because you just get to see the artist's process. They're gonna isolate tracks from their recording sessions. They're gonna tell stories from how they made the song. And it's just a really candid, humanizing moment that lets you into the process behind these masterpieces that we usually only get to see when they're in their like finished version. If you know me, you know I gotta mention Jay Dilla, my absolute hero. For those who don't know, Jay Dilla is a hip hop producer from the early 2000s who invented this concept of microtime, where he would use electronic software to nudge rhythmic events by microseconds. So it takes like the swing time of jazz and R&B and it takes it a step further. And these beats sound absolutely wonky in the best way. Your favorite drummer, your favorite producer has been influenced by Jay Dilla. And if you haven't done your homework, I'm gonna tell you which album to listen to. They're all so good so you can't go wrong. But for me, one that's very slept on is The Diary, because not only are the beats amazing, but he's actually rapping on nearly every song here, which he's not in a lot of his releases. People don't know Jay Dilla was an amazing rapper, because not only did he have lyrics, but he sounds like a percussion instrument. He sounds like a drum. Like he just knew how to ride a beat and flow so well. Rest in peace to the GOAT. So now we gotta talk about Jay Dilla's bestie, Madlib. Madlib is a prolific king, also an amazing rapper and producer. His albums under Quasimoto are incredible. You gotta check them out. But today I wanna talk about the time Madlib invaded Blue Note. Blue Note is a jazz record label from the 20th century with a huge archive of tapes from all their recording sessions. So Madlib said, let me in that storage room. He took all the tapes and flipped them and made early 2000 hip hop beats out of the entire Blue Note archive. So you are hearing legendary jazz musicians from the previous century reworked into something modern. It's a beautiful example of reappropriation, sampling at its finest. Also, I gotta shout out my boy Sadhguru for his new album. Sadhguru is an amazing yoga teacher. He's one of my favorite people on this planet. Usually he's just talking about yoga, but he also loves music. I attended his yoga school recently, and even when he's not there, you have speakers all over the place where you can hear him chanting Sanskrit mantras. But he dropped this album that's crazy. It's basically like spoken word poetry over these jazz beats. It just tickles my brain in a beautiful way. And it's like listening to affirmations, but like it's got a little bit more confidence and swagger in it. I don't know how to explain it, but this dude is incredible. And it's no surprise that his music also is. All right, I got time for one more. We gotta talk about this DJ set. Stretch Armstrong at Aimé Leon Dore. Aimé Leon Dore is actually like a clothing store in Manhattan where I'm from, but they do this thing where they bring DJs to do sets in the store. And Stretch Armstrong is an amazing DJ. He's unique because he spins wax like he only plays vinyl, and it's always like throwback Motown stuff. He put me onto so many Motown classics just in this DJ set. So if you use Spotify, there's a playlist of all the raw songs, but if you use Apple Music or YouTube, you can actually find all of the songs mixed together, which is even better. This is great to dance along to, but honestly, if you watch the video, you will not want to look away. It's like a movie in itself. It will put you onto so many oldies that you never knew you needed in your life. Yo, music is so good. I hope you found that interesting. Honestly, I just needed to get that out. Leave a comment below and let me know what music you gotta put me onto, because I will listen to everything you comment. Take a look at the comments, I'm responding to everything. I love you so much. If you subscribe, I'll be so happy. Peace and love.